If you had asked me 6 months ago if I would be getting a new car and redoing my whole build all over again, I would be saying you are crazy. But no, I have in fact sold the D22 Nissan Navara. It was great for the amount of time that I had it for, but it just wasn't serving my purposes long term. So instead, I've got a 2021 Toyota Prado sitting behind me. So let's have a look at some of the things that I've done to it already. I'm sure you guys have got a pile of questions. Why did you get rid of the dual cab only to replace it with a wagon? But I'll address that in another video. But for today, I just want to go through some of the things that I've already done to it and also what I've got planned as well. I just kind of want to set now the time and just say, well, this is what it looks like now. And I can go back and have a look and see how it looked when it was, relatively stock. And as we're going, I can provide you with some more modification updates as it's happening. So I'm going to turn the camera around now and we're going to have a look at what you've come here to look at, which is my nice new beautiful car. So starting with the outside of the car, we can see that I do not have a bull bar yet. One of the main reasons for that is because they are just so expensive, and really all of the modifications that I've done that we're going to go through today, I've been able to do for a lot less than the cost of just one bull bar. So that's the reason why I do not have a bull bar just yet. But let's keep walking around the car so we can see what else we've got. We've got the stock GXL wheels here. I don't mind these tires. I find that on the road, they're really, really quiet. So they are kind of leaning more towards that road bias, but I like them so far. So I'm just going to keep them on the car for now. We've also got the stock side steps here. You can see the car's a little bit dirty because I haven't really cleaned it for a little while, but that's what it's designed for, isn't it? So the stock side steps, I don't really like the fact that they're pretty plasticky, so I might replace those, but for now, again, side steps and all those things, they cost quite a lot of money. So I'm pretty happy just to leave them how they are for now. They serve their purpose. They're not rock sliders. They are side steps, so they are quite sturdy to even just to stand on. So I quite like them for that purpose only. And to be honest, guys, that pretty much covers like all the stuff that'll go on the outside. I mean, really, the GXL does provide quite a nice little package just with the nice little chrome accents and stuff. So, the outside of the car does look pretty nice. I do like it for that. I probably wouldn't get the GX version just because, the GXL isn't that much more, and it does give you a little bit of a nicer car. Let's have a little bit of a look inside now to see what I've done in the interior. I've got these shark skin covers for my seats, and I find them really good so far. They are waterproof and completely water resistant as well, seat cover, and so far they've been really good. Fairly easy to clean, but they do mark quite easily. But apart from that, I've really enjoyed them, and they're not really too expensive either compared to a lot of the other products on the market. So if you can find them, I know that my sister also bought a Prado recently and she wasn't able to get these. So you might have to do a little bit of searching around or find a similar product. I'm sure these aren't the only people that make a neoprene, sort of like a wetsuit seat. So I'm sure you could find that. But I really like this because it kind of came with a lot of extra parts just for the center consoles and that as well. It's all covered, so yeah, it should keep the car in pretty good nick. The only other thing that I've really put in the interior of the car is basically just that mount that you can see there. It's a RAM mount, and that is for my Garmin InReach Mini. So I've got my communicator in arm's reach all the time. And if we have a look in here, I've also got my trauma pack here. It's got quite a few little things in here. I got my knife, my pen, and a torch. More a indicator light than anything. So I'll be able to use that in case I get stuck on the side of the road. I can kind of throw that out in front to warn people. And on the inside here, like I said, it is a trauma kit. So although I do keep a few little common things like Panadol in there, it normally has things like tourniquets and things like that. Basically really kind of high traumatic events. Things that you come across in road accidents, which is why I made that kit. I'll probably have to do a separate video on that if we want to go into more detail, but let me know if you want me to have a look at it, want me to show you guys. Yeah, so what else we got here, guys? I did rotate the seat covers, the headrest, because they were just so uncomfortable. They pushed my neck forward, so I just rotated them around and they are a lot more comfortable. Now, because I do not have 5 children, you can see that I don't have any of the seats in the back here open or up. So the idea behind this, of course, is to provide me with the wagon space, which is what I bought it for. Contemplating whether or not to take these two seats out. But yeah, basically for now, I've just got those, the little dicky seats that go in the back there. They're all folded down for now, and they'll probably stay folded down. I'm not sure if I'm going to take them out yet. Depends whether or not I can be bothered, but we will see. And yeah, I like all the climate controls and stuff in the back here. It's all very fancy. It's the first new car I've ever owned. So guys, I'm really excited about this car. And you can probably see quite a few things. I've got quite a few accessories in here just for camping and that. We'll get to that when we get to the back of the car. Moving on to what is probably, I guess, the focus of this build for me so far is this roof rack. Let me just climb up here really quick. And you can see I've got a little bit going on up here actually. I've got my MaxTrax here. I've got them on a Kaon flush mount there, and it just fills up that gap really nicely. And you can see over there I've got a few other things too. You can see I've got my tie down points here. So one there and one there. I've got another two just behind, or in front of, I should say, the shower awning. And yeah, it basically is a spot that I can mount this, and I can tie this down, which is the crash pad swag, which I'm looking forward to getting to use because it only just arrived. So I'm very excited to give that a go. And yeah, and if we keep working our way around the car, we can see that I've just gotten the Sunseeker Dome 1300. You know, I'm really looking forward to giving that a go. The reason why I went for the Dome awning is for a little bit of extra headroom, because I'm not particularly small, but my mates are significantly taller than me. So it'd be nice if we could be under the awning and stand up and not have to crouch. And I've also got this 23-0 shower tent awning that I've got because I found that, you know, when we're out camping, doing things, just need a little bit of privacy when getting changed and that sort of stuff. So I just needed a little bit more privacy there. So that should provide that. A little bit of a sneak peek at what is coming in the very short future. And let's go ahead and have a look now at the back of the car, where again, I've kind of focused more of my build. Sorry, I also didn't explain this as well. Don't mind me. This is the largest Pioneer platform you can get. I can't remember the exact size. I can put it up on the screen if you like, but it's basically the largest platform they have. It's also attached to the Rhino-rack backbone system. I ended up swapping out the, what do you call them, sport rails, I guess. I've got them over here in the corner, but I've got these sport rails here. I ended up taking them off just because I couldn't see the function in them for what I wanted. I wasn't doing a rooftop tent. What I do recommend you guys do though, if you do just want to do a rooftop tent, leave the sport rails on and then just put crossbars on. Honestly, it is so much less hassle. So yeah, going back to what I was saying just about the Rhino-rack, I installed all this myself. All the stuff that you see on the car right now hasn't had a professional hand on it, which may be a good thing or may not be, I'm not too sure. But it's all held up fine so far, and saved us quite a lot of money along the way. But yeah, sorry, going back to the Rhino-rack system, basically it's got the largest Pioneer platform that you can buy, and I think it actually suits the car very well. If anything, I probably want one just a little bit longer, just to try and fill in the rest of that space. But anyway, I'm pretty happy with it. And yeah, and the backbone system was such a hassle to install. Honestly, if you have a look at the rails, you see how they're angled in a bit? I mean, trying to get screws in here and putting those bolts in there were an absolute nightmare, honestly. So I don't recommend getting this if you are short on time. But if you've got a little bit of time to spare, then absolutely have a crack. But if I was able to do it, I mean, you guys could do it. I just would rather not do it again if I could avoid it. And yeah, and the Rhino-rack system, I'm really looking forward to just fitting the rest of it on. I've got my solar panel needs to still go on. I've got my swag that will be mounted up on those Rhino-rack rated tie-down points. And by the time I've done that, it's going to be about everything. And you can see I've got some little mounts here for some lights, but of course I haven't got them in just yet, and that's going to be another video altogether. And yeah, and that's kind of about it. Sorry, I just kind of keep getting a bit jumbled around with some of the things I want to be talking about on the car, but yeah, let's keep going and have a look. We've got in the back here, I'm not sure if you guys want me to talk about my accessories and stuff that I got, like just some of the camping gear I have, but I've got this Kaon kind of like a roof interior mount, and I've built a lot of my, I guess I've done a lot of my interior build based around the Kaon products. These products are excellent. I mean, they're so well thought out, obviously made in Australia as well. But I mean, I just really enjoyed using this product, and it was so easy to install the first time just by like putting it in there. And then, yeah, and then just all the other stuff. I've just been trying to get a little bit creative about what I can put there. You know, I use this as a paper towel holder and to hold down some of my clothes. I use it as a bit of like, I guess, a luggage bag, so I don't have to pack a whole bag in here. So it's just so useful. You can hang things off it. It's got a molly pattern, so you can hang these molly bags off it in pouches. They don't have anything in there yet. I put my dry bags on here, and I've got some amber lights as well, some amber camping lights, which are going to be mounted in relatively shortly. And yeah, and at the moment, I'm just really enjoying these Kaon products. They're such a good company, so you know, no brand affiliation there, but if you wanted to check them out, have a look at some of their stuff. I mean, if I had more money, I'd buy more of it, but really, I can only buy little bits at a time. And yeah, and this is a bit my splitter racks that I've got here as well, on some quick fists as well, which are really awesome and super easy to, which I also got from Kaon as well, really easy to mount. So some of the other things I guess I've done is this Kaon table, which was very popular amongst the Prado community, and one of the reasons as well, I guess kind of why I got a Prado, just because there's so many options and accessories you could buy for them. So you can see here I've got this table, had some issues with it jamming up. That was because of some dust from a Chiligo trip, but nothing a little bit of Lanox couldn't fix. So I do recommend you putting some lubricant in these bolts here, and in here I store just some of the things for the awning and that. So I've got my tie down straps, here my ratchet straps, and I've got my MaxTrax, I guess tethers you could call them. And I've got some other bits and pieces for my awnings and shower tent awning as well. So yeah, really good little hidey hole, that one. Very useful. So I'm just using that just for stuff that I basically just don't want rattling around in my big cargo boxes. And again, these are like pretty easy to shut. So really like this product. This is probably one of my favorite products so far. I look forward to using it more. So in the back, we have got some my cargo box here. So again, just carrying some of the basic things like my tools and first aid kit. Really simple stuff. I chuck in my gas bottle in here too, but it weighs a bit, so I just take it out when I'm not camping. And I've got my Coleman camp kitchen. So I've got, I did a camping vlog, kind of, you could call it, where I use this. So if you want to see how it kind of looks all set out, check out that vlog. And I've also got my Coleman 2 burner as well. This is my Wanderer ground mat. Yeah, goes all right, I guess, for what it is. Probably won't need it too much with the swag. And I've also got my, I don't even know what brand this is. I think it might be Wanderer as well. The camp chair. It's massive, as you can see. But yeah, it's a Wanderer camp chair. So it's very comfortable. Used it a few times now, and it's very nice. And I've just got my fridge here as well. Not plugged in, of course, because I don't have my lithium set up just yet. So in terms of what am I doing next, I am booked in very shortly to go to the auto electrician. The plan is, and I need to try and figure out what I want to do here, but the plan is to have my lithium battery somewhere, thinking about here, fridge will probably go here, and then doing some sort of storage setup over on this side here. And I've got quite a few lights that I need to install as well, so that will be part of the next Prado update that I'll do. So all these lights and that are all going to be plugged in. I've got some more lights to go on the car, so that's all going to be put in at the same time as the auto electricians. I've got my solar panel that needs to be wired up to my DC to DC charger, so I'll be buying one of those also. And yeah, so there's a few things that are going to be happening just in terms of, you know, they're really, I guess, your overlanding or touring mods just to get myself on the road. You can see that I don't have massive lift and massive wheels and that, because the reality is, guys, I just don't have the money. It's just, I would love to throw 15, 20 grand at it in the one go. But the reality is I just can't. And I think that it's probably best to be like that anyway. Just some people, I think, throw a lot of money at their cars early on, and they kind of realize, wait a second, maybe this isn't the car for me. Or they don't really see how the modifications really affect the car in the long run. So they don't really have much of an idea about whether or not things actually worked, or if they improve the car and the experience of their trips. They just threw everything on. So I would love to throw 33 mud terrains on here, but will that affect my fuel economy? Will it affect how loud it is on the road? Will that then affect my trips? So these are kind of the thoughts that I'm having. And I guess it's probably better off just doing it little bit by little bit anyway. And I think you appreciate each little modification more. And I get to think about them a little bit more as well, which is something that I like to do. I like to have a little bit of a thought about what I'm doing, have a bit of a think about it, and really take my time and weigh up the pros and cons of every single modification that I'm doing. So every single modification that I've got on the car right now, I guess they're not really modifications, they're more accessories. That's just the tuner in me, I guess, talking. But every accessory that I've got in here, I did weigh up against pretty much all the other competitors and every single other, I guess, accessory on the market. And I just made a decision based on what I thought will work for me. So everything from these little mounts to these little lights here, like for example, these Terralume lights, as far as I could do for my research, as far as I could tell, these lights were the only ones in Australia anyway that I could find that were like a camping or work light, solid amber light. So it's just little things like that where I'm just trying to take my time, source really good, high quality Australian products where possible, and just kind of go from there. So I'm really looking forward to getting the rest of my stuff in. Like I said, I've got my lithium battery from my last setup, so that will be going in here as well. And I just hope that I can make it just as functional as my previous D22 Navara build. So I guess if you haven't checked out that build and want to see what it was like, make sure you go ahead and check out that build series that I've got. And I feel like I did a really good job on that car anyway. And when I sold it, I was a little bit upset because I put so much time and effort into that car, and just ended up selling it for a lot less than what it was worth as it happens. But just long term, the car wasn't going to be appropriate for what I want to use it for, which is going to be comfort, long range touring, basically, with a little bit of off-road as well. And so I'm really looking forward to getting this car, I guess, up to the level that my Navara was, and then probably hanging on to it for a long period of time. So, and using it for what this channel is essentially all about, which is photography, and getting me out to all the places that I can take some photos and take some nice videos, and I guess take you all along with me. So I guess if you haven't subscribed yet, maybe do that. I haven't been showing much of my face on this video because I guess you guys are more keen to see what's going on with the car, but I will do some more like talking head videos in the future. So if you wanted to, I guess, subscribe and have a bit of a think about and have a bit of a look at why I chose this car for exactly what I wanted to do, maybe you might be interested in that as well. Maybe subscribe. And I got some other photography related videos on here too, so that might be something you might be interested in. I actually haven't done much on my motorbike here. Haven't shown that much on the channel. So if you guys want to see that, drop a comment down below. I've done a few little things to it, but if you wanted to see that, that's just a little bit of a random side note there. But at the moment, that's where we're up to with this update. We've got the awnings. We've got the Pioneer platform on the backbone system. I've got a few other things like the tie down and that up there. And and that's pretty much about it really. So in our next update, I'll go through the electrical system. I'll show you all the lights and that I'm getting installed. And and I think that will be quite a long video in itself. So if you have any suggestions, I'm really open to them because you guys, there are a lot of Prados and there's a lot of knowledge out there for four-wheel drivers. So, if you're a four-wheel driver or you've been doing a Prado build or something, go ahead, let me know. I mean, I'm interested if you guys have any suggestions, even things like what sort of tires and that you think I should get. Let me know. I'm always interested. So it is a bit of a community that we have here. So on the YouTube channel. So if you have some suggestions, go ahead and let me know. But apart from that, guys, I'll flip you around so you can see me. But yeah, apart from that, guys, I mean, if you think of anything that you think I should do to the car, go ahead, let me know, chuck it in a comment or something like that. But apart from that, I'll see you in the next video where we'll have another update on the Prado.